Good afternoon. It's Friday, May the 4th. Be with you. I got off work a little early, started my weekend. Woohoo! Sent a message to Nick. Sounds like he's coming over here pretty soon and we're going to go out to eat. Not sure where at this point. But, yeah, so we're going to go out to eat. I don't know how my resolve for walking or exercise or whatever is going to work over the weekend because I always have things going on. I'm going to try and make sure I still do things. Especially depending on where we go eat, what I end up eating, I may really need to. By the way, I think here in a few hours, I think I have plans with family. Ethan was supposed to be available today, so I haven't heard confirmation on that, since when we made the plans, but hopefully that's all still together. Otherwise, not really sure what's going on. Just waiting on Nick right now.
Hello.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm alright. Toe hurts. Back sore.
You stub it or more moving stuff?
Walking.
No. Go someplace?
Circle. Better. Where are we going?
Golden Corral, I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll need to do more walking, but okay. Alright, so starting with a salad because that's relatively healthier, I guess. And I got one beef to pick. Yes, the color of my plate and of both of Nick's plates.
And they
And
changed
of all they're all just plain white. They used to be all bright colored.
I'm the new plates. Less breaks, less cracks, less washes, and people using them.
Alright, now moving on to some real food, I suppose.
I disagree. That has a pickle on it.
What you saying against pickles?
I don't like pickles.
Okay, well that's an opinion. Where are you disagreeing with this being real food?
The fact that you can ingest and gain calories is true. If you consider that the only thing you have to be food.
Well, additionally, pickles are delicious. I can just eat a pickle. I've done it. You can get them at the Ren Fair. They're delicious. More pickles for me. And again, I'm probably gonna not have too much more. I'm gonna go with dessert here, and they were out of ice cream, so I have whipped topping on top of bread pudding instead of ice cream. I don't think that's really any better for me, but it makes me sad that they're out of vanilla ice cream. I don't think I did too bad. Like, I was at the point where I was walking up to get a third plate, I was like thinking I should get more food. I'm like, no, I don't need more food. I can just get a dessert and be done. So I pretty much cut off a plate than what I would normally have. So I relaxed a bit after food. Food was good and all, but wanted to relax rather than going on a walk right away. After an hour and a half, maybe, something like that. I did some editing and stuff. I'm now out on my walk. I used my eye drops. Still not great at getting them in my eyes, but with a few tries, And I did manage, during that relaxing time, to find my actual MP3 player. So I'm not having to use my phone directly. I can use that, which is good. And I head out on my walk, and for a bit I have pain in my back, which I think is related to not knowing how to properly stretch beforehand. I try to remember the stuff that we were supposed to do in like high school, but that was so long ago I can barely remember. So I try and do a little bit, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with stretching before a walk. But yeah, I kind of, as I feel pain, try and stretch that area as I'm walking, and it's actually not so bad. Now I'm around halfway, so around a mile in, and it's actually gotten better rather than worse. Furthermore, right at the beginning, my calves were causing me a lot of pain, and now again about halfway, they're not causing me too much at all right now, so better rather than worse. So, positives. yeah, just keeping this up. Today I took the same route that I did the first day, a few days back, and then it took an hour, and today it was between 40 and 45 minutes. So definitely faster. Could again just be having headphones in, but maybe it's just not being completely foreign to the idea of exercise that might be helping. And like I was saying during the walk, I was having some calf and back pains right at the beginning, but by about halfway through, they had pretty much gone away, and for the most part, fine. Still have a little irritation right at the spot on my toe that started bothering me yesterday, but even that's not as bad as it was yesterday. So, so even just a few days, I still don't get like the, oh yeah, I loved that I did that kind of feeling, but I am at least starting to not get, I am absolutely miserable from that. I think some of the taking care of my allergies is helping, and I don't feel too bad with any of that, and that's a miracle in and of itself, because there were a lot of people mowing their lawns today, and that can be hectic to me. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty good even on that front, so wonderful. Progress with the staying active. So I'm over here, and Ethan is here. My mom's bringing stuff in. I got a Freddy's milkshake, because obviously I don't need to eat after the buffet earlier. But they asked me what I wanted, so I got a dessert. Don't judge me, I walked. Otherwise, my hope here is to teach them D&D. And so rather than taking my mom and Ethan through the process of creating characters and basically spending like an hour with that before actually playing the game, I figured we'd just use pre-made characters, which there's plenty of on Wizard's site. We'll just do level 1, and I figure it's a nice simple way for them to choose a character, and we'll have to see what's available, but I'm assuming there's probably one of every class. And I found myself a little flowchart for what 5th edition character class should you play. So we'll just take them through that and figure out what they want to do. Alright, and so we got my mom as a wizard and Ethan as a warlock. And I got books, and I got the pawns from the Pathfinder starter box, as well as the map from that. And I don't really know what the plan is, but we'll just figure out some sort of game as we go. They're ridiculous. This guy is really playing a character who's into All-Star by Smash Mouth. And they go to the goblin cave where the goblins are hiding. And they've tracked through the woods to find it. And his first thought is, well, let me yell that song into the cave and alert all of them that there's someone here. And then run in and trip over some wires and have the ceiling drop down and kill me. Now, fortunately, he had a health potion, so they got him back up. But that probably wasn't the best time to have to use it. Otherwise, I did not anticipate the difference in time for how slow they were going to be. I think of a couple hour session, but I'm used to my friends that it can move kind of quick, and I have to explain each option each and every time. Here's what your spells do again. Just do the one you did last time. It seemed to work fine. That was interesting. Fun, but interesting. I'm headed home. I'll talk to you about it then. Yeah, so I just ran D&D for my mom and Ethan, teaching them basics, and I couldn't really record during it just because it was a lot to keep track of, because basically neither of them know what they're doing, so I'm having to lay everything out, time it again for each of them. It's a very simple request. Basically, goblin attack was last night in town, wake up, town's just trying to deal and pull itself together. You're hired to go track the goblins through the woods to wherever they're hiding, dispatch of them, and bring back any survivors of the captives that they've taken. Very simple. I just sort of skip through and you track down, find a path, follow through the woods, and I just have, the battle mat that came with the Pathfinder beginner box, just sort of a weird cave kind of structure. I have that, and I basically block off some of the rooms to make it a smaller area. Within there, basically as far as the enemies total, there's 3 goblins, a goblin boss, 3 skeletons, and an ogre. Which is a lot, but not a lot if they deal with it properly. Now, their way of dealing with it was to alert everything, make sure all of them were in charge of things, give them multiple chances to regroup, and pull multiple encounter rooms together in order to have to fight everything at once. That was dumb. They did a lot of dumb things. They were also very slow. Took probably 3 to 4 hours for what would have been a 45-minute max encounter with my friends. So, there's definitely that I learned. I cannot run as short of a campaign if they do not know what they're doing. I had to fudge a lot of numbers, reduce some total hells, reduce some ACs of monsters, greatly reduce damages dealt, etc. But I managed to make them feel like they've beaten all these things, they've done a great job, that it was very tough for them to do. I managed to invoke all the right emotions from them. It worked well. They seemed to really have fun. Ethan's talking about wanting to be able to actually have me help him make a character so we can have that, and then, with the plan of, taking that a little more seriously, because it'll be something, and not just a pre-made that he's handed. I basically let him choose the class, and then gave him the pre-made for that class. So he was a Tiefling Warlock. But, and neither of them really, well, my mom had no personality whatsoever. She did not know any of that. Ethan's personality was annoying, bullheaded, arrogant, and into All-Star by Smash Mouth. Specifically, the way he first put it was, that opening song from Shrek. So, I'm like, okay, well, I know the song. Which, by the way, that was at the point before he knew that one of my enemies I was going to put up against was an ogre. So, just worked out. But was interesting. And, for the most part, I think that's my first experience teaching D&D to people who have not played any role-playing game. I think that's the first time I've actually done that, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's not something I generally do. I play with my friends. We've played role-playing games together since we, as a group, basically learned how to play role-playing games. And that was like late middle, early high school. So, yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, it was fun. And they seem interested in doing that again. And that's, I guess, really the most I could ask for, right? Of course, next time I'll have to introduce things, because this was very combat heavy. Because other than a little role-playing at the beginning and end, it was mostly them going through a battle mat. They had pawns. It was tactical combat. They have no tactics since. And there were definitely points where they noticed things like I went out of my way with describing the rooms to to try and bring things to life, just to kind of give them that feeling, and the kind of thing that, in general, a lot of times I don't always necessarily feel the need to do for every room. But I was like, I'm gonna try and go overboard on a lot of these room descriptions things, really just to try and give them a sense of what the game could be. It's the kind of thing. Would I do this over and over? Usually, no. It would be a little bit spread out, but I'm trying to compact a whole bunch of a D&D feel into one session, so. But yeah. Otherwise, at this point, I just got home. It's late. I think I already uploaded a video earlier today. As long as I did, I'm just pretty much heading to bed. Sounds like the plan is to go grass sailing again with Mom tomorrow, so that'll be fun. But for now, I'm tired. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.